I predicted Chelsea would win the league at the start of the season, and I still think they'll win the league.
We might pick for the champions were Arsenal before the start of the season. They've obviously let me and everybody else who is more of a Gunner's persuasion down quite badly. I think Robin van Persie has been a huge loss. I'm not quite sure they can do without him, unfortunately, even if Wenger were to buy big in the January transfer window. So I think now, based on the way the season has been going, I think you have to make Chelsea the favourites.
Premier League, my forecast for 2010, Arsenal. Because they don't have the debts, because their financial situation is only going to improve, and they're already in contention despite an absolutely catastrophic injury list, and because above all, it is a funny old game, and this season more than most.
My prediction at the start of the season was Chelsea, I think, and it hasn't changed. They are in the middle of a little mini slump as we record, so I'm not perhaps quite as confident as I was. And they've only got the same number of points after 16 games that Liverpool had at this stage last season. But I think Ancelotti's side are a little more resilient, and they'll probably get over the line.
I think Portsmouth seem to be so badly run, they would need a miracle to stay up. Wolves probably don't have enough strength, and the way they're going, there seems to be every chance Liverpool will go down.
I think it's the usual suspects, really, or the obvious choices again for relegation. Portsmouth, I think, haven't got a hope. Bad enough struggling with the players that they've got, but also not knowing when people are being paid or not paying them. It's not good. Not a good recipe for success. Along with them, I think Wolves are really in most danger. I don't think they've got quite the right set of players to survive, and I think the last one will be probably between Hull and West Ham.
I think Portsmouth will go. I think Hull will probably struggle to escape, and I think Wolves, despite a few decent results of late, I don't think they've quite got enough to stay out. So those would be the three that I'd pick.
To go down, I'm going for Wigan, Wolves and West Ham, because they all begin with W.
I'd love an African team to win the World Cup, but the draw's not been very kind to Ghana or the Ivory Coast, who are probably the favourite too, you'd say. Originally, I would have said Spain, and I think I'm probably still going to say Spain, which isn't going out on a limb, obviously. But the worrying thing is for me is that in 2006, they came out of the groups because they had a very easy draw. They came out of the group undercooked and went out to France at the first knockout stage. The worry is that they've got an fairly easy group this time, and the same could happen. But I think Spain will probably win it.
My World Cup prediction is England. Only kidding. Brazil.
Much as I would love to confidently predict that England will win it, I'm hopeful France will win, because they really deserve to be there. As such an honest bunch of lads, and I wish them all the best.
Well, I'd like to say England, of course, just to jinx them, which would be good. But they must be serious candidates. I think they've got a great chance, even though their last 16 game would probably quite be a tough one, maybe tougher than they anticipate at this moment. It won't be Ecuador the way it was in 2006, and England have in the last few tournaments always gone out against the first proper side they meet in a knockout competition. So there's a good chance they'll meet a proper side or half-decent side in the last 16. So I'm going to make an unusual choice and say the Dutch. They're not big favourites because they never win anything. They're bottlers, perhaps slightly more aesthetically pleasing bottlers in comparison with England. But I've got a feeling that, especially after the Euros and maybe the lessons they've learned from that, and with a slightly more pragmatic manager in charge, that it might be that year.